Start our overreaction Monday in the NFC West. It's a little breezy in San Francisco, Hoodie. It's starting to get kind of chilly.
Mm-hmm.
Someone mind shutting the window?
Oh, wow.
That'll be all for San Francisco's Super Bowl window. It's over.
Over.
Brock Purdy in big games like yesterday, when things go sideways and everything's not perfect, just is not the guy. Health, forget it. You've got McCaffrey somewhere off in Germany getting his calf work done. You've got Javon Hargrave done for the year. And now Brandon Ayuk done for the year with a torn ACL. Debo wasn't in the game yesterday. Who knows if Kittle can stay healthy with the workload that's now going to be asked to him. And going forward after this year, what are your options? Pay $60 million to Brock Purdy? Good luck building a roster.
Man, how about that? But just not just for the season. The championship window's closed.
Done.
For Shanahan.
This iteration of the Niners, it's done.
Wow. They're a part, Chris, of this mediocre NFC, mediocre NFL, but definitely mediocre NFC, to the point where the Seahawks could win this division.
Yeah. I mean, the Seahawks are a good team. Championship window closed.
Might be the only representative in the playoffs.
I'm not ready to go there yet
in the West.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
But I do see Brock Purdy as a quarterback that can't rise above a team that's not the best roster in football. Hey, he was propped up in the last couple of years by the best roster in football. Let's call it what it is. People want to point to, well, his quarterback numbers are this, his passer ratings that. Look at how great Brock Purdy is. He's average. Absolutely average.
You know what? Yes, I think that we all can agree with that, but his fluffer was Shanahan. I mean,
I think he's a great play caller, though. Well, I don't have anything against Shanahan.
No, but what I'm saying is that, yes, Purdy's always been average. It's what you do with the average.
Sure.
And I think that he got as much as he could out of Purdy. And I think to Shay's point, when you have adversity, what are you going to do when you don't have your key players? Can you rise above, or will you just be worse than what we are as a football team?
Yeah, right. And that's the trap that all NFL teams find themselves in when they have to pay a quarterback. If he's not the guy and you end up paying that quarterback because he's the best that you have at that moment, you will then find yourself out of a championship window like Shay is suggesting. You know, that's how it works. That's why you have to hit on the quarterback. And if he is the guy, once you start paying him that money, he has to be able to bring the rest of the team up with him. We're seeing Patrick Mahomes do it once again this season. Dak Prescott, I don't think he can really do that, but he's going to try.
But that's the right comp, though, because I feel if the Niners go this route and pay Brock Purdy north of $60 million, which will be market value, aren't they just a worse version of what Dallas is right now?
Yeah.
Yep. Pretty much.
Absolutely. And Dak is that quarterback that's on the cusp of being a guy who can lead a team all by himself and the guys who can't. He's right in that conversation. There's not many that can do it.
All right, Shay, what's next?
Deshaun Watson has played his final snap in the NFL. Last year, sidelined with a shoulder injury, ended his year. This year was the worst quarterback in football, and yesterday his Achilles ruptured. That's it.
Mm-hmm. So that'll be all for Watson in his career, not just for the season or next season. That's it. We'll never see him again.
Do you feel like it's more likely he never plays again, or more likely he returns from a ruptured Achilles when he was already the worst quarterback in football and just goes back to taking starter snaps for the Cleveland Browns?
He will return to the NFL. And one of the reasons why is because somehow, some way, even after this contract, someone will pay him. That's how.
No shot. I don't think so.
I disagree with that.
Oh, that's fine. You can disagree, but we've seen these comeback stories before, whether it's ne'er-do-well coaches or players, this kind of thing. Here's a guy here that should have been paid like this to start with.
Correct.
Especially that much guaranteed money for a guy that I thought was good with Houston, but not great. You paid on potential, not for someone that was the genuine article. What I'm saying is that for him, he'll return back to the NFL. He might be somebody's backup, but he will return to the NFL.
I mean, what happened yesterday is karma for the Cleveland Browns, right?
Yep.
I mean, you decide to give that contract with the fully guarantee, and you essentially go on a ledge like that. This is what you get, right? You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. That's essentially what this is for the Cleveland Browns. I would say this. He will not be a starter by choice for an NFL team again. He may be a backup, a journeyman, and then because of injury, he may eventually start another game. Yeah. He will not be a team's number one option going into a season ever again.
I would agree with that. He'll be in the NFL. There's no question about it. But as far as the Browns and Watson's concerned, they deserve each other.
Yeah.
That's what you wanted. This is what you deserve each other.
Absolutely.
The Browns are a horrible franchise, have been for quite some time. And then when it comes to Deshaun Watson, listen, you paid that much money for Watson because it wouldn't surprise me if the Browns knew that these lawsuits were coming. Like, we'll pay over the top so you could take care of 23 of your 24 legal allegations of sexual assault. 23 of 24.
Litigation protection, baby. That's what that's called.
As long as you help us win. And of course, you pay him, you don't win, he gets injured, and your ball club is, what is it this morning? 1-6. So long, everybody.
If that's a rupture and not just a tear, there's a chance that he misses the rest of this season and all of next season. And at that point, that's where I'm like, I think he's just done, out of the league. Done.
Yeah, it's a fair point. I also, just a football thought. Can you guys recall a player that at one moment was top 3 or 4 in the sport that turned into someone that was as bad as he has been this season and last? I can't recall a quarterback that has gone backwards as a performer like Watson.
Carson Wentz is the one that comes to mind.
Okay. Yeah. He had an MVP-like season with the Eagles and then never returned.
He was in for a play in that Chiefs game.
Yeah.
He was the MVP, and then he hurt his knee in like week 14. The Nick Foles run happened. Brady won the MVP, but he came back and Philly fans hated him. He was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually in that situation, when you play at a high level, you might go down to a couple of notches, Chris, but then you're out.
Yeah, not the worst quarterback in football.
Yes. Yeah, you never, I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, you can have like regression as a player because you got older, you're not as fast anymore, whatever. But go from one of the top quarterbacks to this, that's quite a lifetime TV story.
Tip of the cap to the Browns fans, though. Shout out to those folks that were in the stadium.
All right, can you squeeze in one more, Shay?
The MVP race is taking form through 7 weeks. It is Josh Allen versus Jared Goff. Allen is the only quarterback in football this year without an interception. Yesterday, they broke in Amari Cooper, the Buffalo Bills, and Josh Allen went off. Over 300 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 12 touchdowns on the season, 0 interceptions. It's been an outstanding year for Allen. Jared Goff, his last 3 weeks, he's completed 87% of his passes for 887 yards, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 13 yards per attempt, and for fun, throw in a receiving touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And he became only the 4th quarterback in NFL history to post 3 consecutive weeks with a 140 or higher passer rating.
That's just bananas. Of all the quarterbacks that we've seen, Shay, I'm talking about the great ones.
Yeah.
And the great ones don't even reach that plateau, those numbers.
I looked back. Mahomes never did it, or has never done it. Tom Brady never did it. Peyton Manning never did it. Kurt Warner is the one that I found. I don't know why the tweet that I read didn't have the names of the 3 quarterbacks. Kurt Warner did it in 1999, the greatest show on turf, Rams.
Yeah.
That's the one I found. I imagine like Dan Marino probably accomplished that at some point. But Jared Goff, now up there with the legends, one of only 4 quarterbacks to go 3 consecutive weeks with a 140 or better passer rating.
Wow. Any good?
Oh, it's great. He will not win MVP.
Okay.
Mark it down right now.
Okay.
If like
he won't win MVP.
If Goff he won't continue this, but if he ends the season, let's just say he's got 42 touchdowns and 10 picks, and he's 4,500 yards. Lions are the number 1 seed in the NFC, and Josh Allen has similar, maybe slightly worse stats. I actually think they'd give it to Allen because he's more of a brand and he does more on the football field. He's a bigger star.
There's also a perception that Allen is doing it all on his own.
Yep.
For more on Josh Allen, we turn to Jay Moore now with analysis on Josh Allen. Jay Moore? Thank you. Matt Eberflus next on the Kap and J Hood Morning